Hi everyone, let's have a look at some problems that we did last lesson and just a review of simple interest. And the formula for simple interest, there's a couple of variations, but the one the book uses, Jack Plus, and I'm going to use is I equals P times R times T on 100. All right, where P is the principal, that's the amount you're borrowing or that you are investing. R is the interest rate, usually per annum, and T is a time period, usually in years, divided by 100. So from last time, here's a question that we would have done. So if we look at this first one, we've got that is the principal, so that's the amount we're investing, $5,000. Okay, so earning the simple interest on that. So P equals $5,000. The interest rate is 5% per annum, so R equals 5. And the time in years is 4 years. So if we apply the formula, I equals 5,000 times 5 times the time, which is 4, divided by 100. So now we can use our calculator to work that out. So if I just find my calculator application, here it is. Let's have a look. So 5,000 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 4 divided by 100. Now, sometimes it's good to bracket some of these, the ones on top, but I haven't on this occasion, and I get $1,000 as my interest. Okay, so I equals $1,000. So write down the answer. Always put our answer as with a dollar sign. So $1,000. All right, moving on to the next question. Calculate the monthly interest charged on each of the following outstanding credit card balances. We've got here $1,500 at 15% per annum. Okay, so let's write down what we've got here. So the principal, okay, the balance on the credit card is $1,500, so $1,500. The rate of interest is 15% per annum. Now the time, looking for the monthly interest. Okay, so note there that word monthly. So that is 1/12 of a year. Now, the months do have different numbers of days in them, but just for the purposes of this, we're going to say the time is 1/12. So now when we set up our formula, I equals P times R times T on 100. So it equals 1,500 times 15 times the time, and I'm going to bracket this 1/12 divided by 100. So let's get our calculator again and we'll work it out. So 1,500 times 15 times bracket 1 divided by 12, close bracket. We're going to divide all of that by 100 equals. So we've got $18.75 as our monthly charge equals $18.75. All right, so that's a bit of a review of last time. Let's move on to a new question. The ticketing price of a mobile phone is $800. Eleanor decides to purchase the phone using a credit card. After 1 month, the credit card companies charge interest rate of 15% per annum. Calculate the amount of interest that Ellen must pay on a credit card after 1 month. So very similar to the last question. So we'll just go through it quickly. The price of the mobile phone that we're paying back is $800. The rate of interest is once again 15%. The time, 1 month, is 1 divided by 12. Into the formula, the interest that we're going to pay on this credit card. On this credit card, which he's purchasing this mobile phone off, is P times R times T divided by 100. If we calculate that, 800 times 15 times 1 over 12 divided by 100. So, interest there is $10 on that purchase for the month. Okay. Next question. So when buying on terms, a deposit is paid. The balance is paid off over an agreed period of time with set payments. The set payments may be calculated as a stated arbitrary amount, that is an agreed amount between you and the person selling, or interest rate. Total monies paid will exceed the initial cash price. So by buying on terms, you're paying back more in the long run. Let's see how that works. Cash price of a computer is $2,400. It can also be purchased on the following terms: 25% deposit and payments of $16.73 per week for 3 years. Calculate the total cost of the computer purchased on the terms described above. Okay, so let's work out the deposit first of all. So that's going to be 25%, so deposit, DEP for short, 25% of 2,400. When you work out a percentage, remember, it's 25 divided by 100 times 2,400. That's going to equal so 25 divided by 100. Now, if you're good at your maths, you can estimate that 0.25 times 2,400. So we're paying a deposit of $600. $600. Okay. Now, added to that, we're also going to pay $16.73 per week for 3 years. All right. Now, there are 52 weeks in a year. So we're going to be paying back for 3 years times 52 weeks times $16.73. Let's see how much we pay back in payments. Okay. So we're paying back $600 in deposit, 3 times 52 times $16.73. So let's get my pen working again. Here we go. So 3, cancel that, 3 times 52 times $16.73 equals $2,609.88. Equals $2,609.88. Now, paying back in total for this computer, we're paying back the $600 deposit plus all those weekly payments for 3 years. So the total cost of the computer will be $2,609.88 plus my $600 deposit. Okay, and that will equal 3,000, put the dollar sign now, $3,209.88. There we go. So it's the deposit, 25% of 2,400, plus all those weekly payments for the 3 years. Let's look at the next question. A diamond engagement ring has a purchase price of $2,500. Michael buys the ring on the following terms: $10 deposit with a balance plus simple interest paid monthly at 12% per annum over 3 years. So one step at a time here. First of all, we're going to calculate the amount of the deposit. That will be 10% of 2,500. Now, there are some shortcuts for 10%, like you can divide it by 10, but I'm going to stick with the sure way. That's 10 divided by 100 times 2,500. And that's going to be $250 will be the deposit. What's the amount owing after the initial deposit? The balance owing, after the initial deposit. Well, the ring costs $2,500. We've paid now the $200.50 deposit. We now owe $2,250 if we subtract that on the calculator. Okay, so how much interest is payable? Right, so now we're going to use our simple interest formula because we're going to repay this money that we have to borrow. We've paid the deposit up front. We're going to have to borrow this. So the interest will be P times R times T over 100. So the principal is what I'm borrowing, the $2,250, times the rate, 12% per annum. Doing this for 3 years, divided by 100. Okay. Let's have a look at this on the calculator. $2,250 times 12 times 3 divided by 100 equals $810. Okay, so let's get rid of the calculator. $810. All right. What is the total amount to be repaid? Well, okay, I've now got to repay the $2,250 I borrowed, plus this is question D, plus the $810 interest, equals, that's going to be $3,060 have to repay. Now, I'm paying back monthly repayments for 3 years. So how many months is that? 3 years times 12 months equals 36 months. So what will my monthly repayment be? I'm paying back $3,060 divided by 36 months. Let's work that out. $3,060 divided by 36. $85 a month. So this is question E. I should have labelled that. $85 a month is how much I have to repay. So just to recap here, $250 was the deposit, 10% of $2,500. That means I still owe $2,250 on the engagement ring. I now have to pay interest on that amount. I equals P times R times T on 100. The interest is $810. So I need to repay the $2,250 plus the $810, $3,060 for 3 years every month. There are 36 months in 3 years. So I divide $3,060 by 36 and I get $85. Hope that helps and good luck with all your work. Bye for now.